Well, hello everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do your April the 6th just for today in a meditation. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Let's go ahead and get into the meditation. It is entitled Growing Honesty. On a practical level, changes occur because what's appropriate to one phase of recovery may not be for another. Basic text, page 105. When we first came to Narcotics Anonymous, many of us had no legitimate occupation. Not all of us suddenly decide we're going to become honest and productive model citizens the moment we arrive in NA. But we soon find in recovery that we are not so comfortable doing many of the things we once did without a second thought when we were using. As we grow in our recovery, we begin to be honest in matters that probably hadn't bothered us when we used. We start returning extra change a cashier may have given us by mistake, or admitting when we hit a parked car. We find that if we can begin to be honest in these small ways, the bigger tests of our honesty become much easier to handle. Many of us came here with very little capacity, to be honest. But we find that as we work the 12 steps, our lives begin to change. We are no longer comfortable when we benefit at the expense of others, and we can feel good about our newfound honesty. Just for today, I will examine the level of honesty in my life and see if I'm comfortable with it. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. Well, family, I tell you what, I'm just so excited to be able to continue doing the podcast. Today, I apologize for not having uploaded it after I recorded it. I thought it was a finished project, and I just found out later in the afternoon that I had not uploaded the tapings. So forgive me, just kind of running circles around myself, and I apologize for that. That's a level of honesty for me to be able to express exactly what is taking place or why what took place, and not beat myself up about it, but believe that those that are interested in the podcast will continue to come back and continue to listen, even when I drop the ball, such as that, because I have every confidence in each of you that you can get the material online or cover it at home while you're drinking coffee in the morning on your own. I just love being able to read this to you, though. I find for me, hearing and seeing helps my process of learning. So I'm trying to give back in that way. Now, we're talking about growing honesty, and I've given a personal experience that is a right now experience, right? Um, but the point that it's making here in this meditation is that many of us, we continue to break the law. As far as our hustle, when we first got here, we continue to have that hustle. Or for some people, people that I know that even have more time than myself, spent several years, if not a couple decades, of going back to their illegal hustles when things became difficult for them financially, and they justified it because it was something that they learned in the streets, and they could still use it to make financial gain, and they only used it when they absolutely had to. So an example would be having access to, let's say, um, a narcotic for your own pain that the doctor has prescribed, and using those pills to sell them to other people when you're trying to get your money together for a particular bill, right? So I know individuals have fallen into that. And I just say that, over time we evolve. What was appropriate, I wouldn't say that would be appropriate 20 years, but what was appropriate when you first got here, we find that it no longer works for us. It no longer works. And if we try to go back, if I try to go back to that behavior, now my conscience is starting to eat away at me. And I find myself having to do a 10th step. I'm finding myself having to make prompt amends because what I did back then and what I'm trying to do now, there's so much distance between the time period of just getting clean and now recovering, that if I try to pick up those behaviors when I first got clean and bring them along with me and put them in my back pocket just in case I need them, that's a reservation, but just in case I need that, right? And pull it out after having gained some recovery, it's going to hit me in a manner that awakens me to the fact that I need to change. That's not fitting anymore. It's like trying to wear a t-shirt from 6th grade in your 60s. You might be able to fit the same clothes, but it's unlikely. Yeah, you can squeeze yourself into that uncomfortable garment, and you're probably going to be miserable all day long if you keep it on. If if you can even get into it, but many times we try to clothe ourselves with those old behaviors and think that we're going to be comfortable. But the spirit person we are today is the telltale sign. It lets us know, hey, you're not okay with that, and it doesn't fit you anymore. That level of dishonesty no longer fits you. Let that go. And if we're in tune, of course, we make the needed adjustments. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you, and I hope that you have received something from this podcast today. Hope you have a beautiful day on purpose. I intend to, and I will be talking to you soon.